again, this pursuit has been going on for the better part of about, well, 20 minutes or so. We initially caught this about 20 minutes ago when we were at our base, and we actually heard that this guy was coming northbound on the 405 from the South Bay, and he actually made his way over to the 90 freeway. That's the Marina freeway, where the officer just described him getting off on Centinela, then getting back onto the 90, and then back onto the 405 south. And so now he has made his way down the South Bay curve, and he is now on the 110 freeway southbound, and again, heading in towards the Torrance area. Guys, I'm going to hand it off to you for about 30 seconds while I talk to Torrance Tower.
Okay, thank you, Mark. What's interesting about this is, you know, the 110 freeway south is going to end. It's going to end in San Pedro, so eventually at some point, if he goes all the way to the end of this, he's going to have to get off on a surface street in San Pedro if he doesn't get off an exit before that. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this one ends up. I mean, there's no telling. He could end up on the Thomas Vincent Bridge and start heading to Long Beach at this point.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll continue to follow this, and we'll see you back here right after a quick commercial break.
Welcome back to the KTLA 5 News at 1. The time now is 1:22. We've been following this pursuit of a black F-Ford 150 pickup truck. Apparently, the driver of this car committed a lewd act on a child in the city of Bell. And this pursuit has been going on probably for more than a half hour now.
Yeah, we've been watching him pick up speed and then slow back down. KTLA's Mark Kono is live over the chase right now in Sky 5. Mark, what can you tell us? What's going on?
You know what, he just exited the freeway here just about a minute ago, southbound on the 110 coming through the Torrance area here. He just exited the freeway at PCH, so Pacific Coast Highway. He's made a westbound turn and is heading in towards Torrance proper now. He is on surface streets here, the California Highway Patrol. There they are making an approach to him. We will see what their intentions are as far as the possibility of pitting this guy, but again, he is in a little bit of traffic here, making his way westbound along PCH. He is being pursued by several officers from the California Highway Patrol. I can see several cars behind him as he makes his way through that intersection there. But again, moving westbound again on PCH.
Talk a little bit about the strategy the CHP officers are going to be using here. You know, they're following him. They're not doing anything aggressive. What's the strategy in getting him to stop?
TV5 copies. Thank you. You know, in terms of strategy here, you know, we'll see what happens here. It looks like, in fact, that he's slowing down, possibly stopping, and we'll see what his intention is here. Is he looking ahead at the red light because traffic in front of him there is at a red light, and it looks like he may just be waiting for a green light so then he can dart forward. In terms of what the CHP strategy is, we don't know. We understood that he was on the telephone with someone just a short while ago while he was on the freeway, and so we don't know if he is in negotiations to give up or something like that, or if he's talking to someone who is trying to help him out. But again, he is slowing down, but now that they have a green light on westbound PCH, it looks like he's accelerating again, and he's going to be going through that intersection again, westbound on PCH, going in towards Torrance.
Okay, Mark,
okay,
keep on this. We're just getting some information that apparently police in Bell have been watching his house, and he is facing a charge of a lewd act with a child. And they apparently tried to pull him over in Lakewood, and he basically let them know he knew exactly why they were pulling him over, but he failed to yield.
Yeah, and those lewd acts that he's accused of did not happen today. They apparently have happened in the past, and police were watching this man, conducting surveillance on him, watching him at his house. They decided to follow him today, try and make a stop, and he bolted. Okay, and again, right now he is on Pacific Coast Highway in Torrance, heading back up toward the South Bay in a northerly direction. And, you know, he's hit a few traffic, some heavy traffic in a few spots. He continues, when he approaches an intersection, to kind of slow down, kind of waiting to time the light so the light will change. And we've seen this before. The CHP will get right up behind him, but they have yet to try a pit maneuver or anything like that. And I think probably has to do with the weight of the pickup truck compared to the black and white unit. Right, yeah. You know, at times it looks like he's slowing down. He's getting ready to stop, but he's really just slowing up to, as you said, Glenn, to keep moving somewhat as he's approaching red lights. But it doesn't look like he's ready to stop anytime soon, and he's probably not going to do it until he is forced to. And by the way, that intersection you just went through was PCH and Western Avenue in Torrance as he continues to head sort of in a northwesterly direction. Okay, well, maybe he's going to try a pit maneuver here. Yep, they just tried it, but... Yeah, they're trying to pit him. They're trying to pit him.
He's making his way through the intersection. They're staying on him. They're staying on him. They're going to try and pit him. They're going to try and pit him. There they go. They've pitted him.
Wow.
Just past Western. There they go. He's okay. We're going. 5's going to the north.
Okay, again, we're going to lose our picture there for a minute. Hopefully we can get it back. But as you saw, they pulled the pit maneuver there and spun the pickup truck around, and he slammed into the semi-truck trailer right there. Officers are now outside the vehicle, and Mark, at this point, I guess it's just going to be a standoff.
You know what, I just missed your comment there, Glenn, but yeah, they did just pit him as you saw here. They just pitted him past Western here, westbound on PCH. They spun him, and they spun him basically into a tractor trailer here. He is basically swapped ends. He's facing the wrong way, and they are guns drawn. It appears that they are going to be asking this guy to get out of his vehicle here peacefully, so we will see what the reaction here is from this suspect here, so we will, you know, stay on top of this, but hang on, let me give it right back to you guys.
Okay, again, they just...
Okay, 5's got you there.
Just pulled the pit maneuver on this pickup truck, and as we've said earlier, there have been reports that the driver of this vehicle is threatening suicide. So I just want our, you know, just everybody have a heads up, especially our viewers. This could be one of those situations of suicide by cop, which we have seen before. So we're going to be very careful here on what we show you as this thing unfolds, hopefully in the next 5 or 10 minutes, and we come to a peaceful resolution.
And we know that he is accused of lewd acts on a child. Those acts not happening today, according to CHP. They believe he had committed these crimes in the past. They were conducting surveillance on this man, watching him at his house. They followed him today, tried to pull him over in Lakewood. He refused to stop. We did speak with CHP a little bit earlier, asking, you know, is this man alone in the car? And at this point, officers do not know. They don't really know what they're dealing with here.
Mark, can you pull out just a little bit? I mean, we see the black and white units and the motorcycle officers, but do they have him completely surrounded? I mean, is there anybody north of where he, you know, basically in his backside right now that is blocking traffic? And well, it looks like if he could pull out, he could take off.
Yeah, you know what
again.
they do. They do have traffic blocked here. Where they spun him, where they pitted him, basically is between Western and Normandy. As you can see from our wide shot here, they are rerouting traffic. Eastbound and westbound is being diverted, both north and southbound, Western and Normandy here. So they are going to be awaiting the end result of this police pursuit here. So we will certainly see what transpires here. But yeah, they do have traffic blocked here. They are not letting anyone through this particular section of PCH. Now they just pitted him a couple of minutes ago. They are waiting for him to come out of the vehicle here. The CHP, you see there near the center of your screen there with their guns drawn, no doubt directing him to come out of his vehicle here. But so far, it looks like that
may have been the truck driver. May
have been a bystander. I don't believe that was a driver. That was likely a bystander there who was kind of running from the scene there. No, he is leaving again, and so he is back in his truck, and he is back westbound on PCH, and so this pursuit, it looks like it's going to continue for a little bit here, guys.
Well, see, that's what I was pointing out. I didn't understand why they didn't block off the other direction, because if he pulled out, he's taking off, and I think that man we saw running was actually the driver of that big rig.
Getting out of the way.
I think he got out of the passenger side and, you know, took off over the parking lot to get the safe distance away from everything. But again, that situation is over, and they're going to clean up that mess, and they're going to continue this pursuit on Pacific Coast Highway.
Well, and you know, we're dealing with a man here who apparently knew why police were there to pull him over. He refused to stop. We're hearing he may have threatened suicide. So probably dealing with a person who isn't going to give up, you know, until the end. So, and that looks exactly like what he was doing. It is interesting, though, that, you know, the CHP officers didn't block him from basically just driving away.
I think they assumed at that point that his vehicle was disabled, but that's certainly not the case. And now we've seen him where he's driving on the other side of the road in turn lanes. He's in the median, and he's picking up some speed, Mark.
Yeah, pretty high rate of speed here. We're talking about speeds probably in the neighborhood of 50 miles per hour here, westbound on PCH. He just passed Pennsylvania Avenue here, westbound on PCH, and he's going to be coming up on the border of, well, Torrance Airport, and that's who we've been talking to for the past 5 minutes or so, coordinating air traffic with all the helicopters and the law enforcement helicopters up here. But again, westbound on PCH, and it looks like he's making a move in opposite lanes of traffic here, and he's coming up on an intersection, a red light intersection, and that's Crenshaw, and he's going to be southbound on Crenshaw here, so he's making a left turn going southbound on Crenshaw, and it looks like he's actually moving in towards, well, what I believe to be the Rolling Hill here to follow this as he makes his way uphill. You know, we have seen some erratic movements here, so a couple of red lights that he's blown through, but again, southbound on Crenshaw from PCH, he is moving south away from the Torrance Airport here as he moves uphill over towards the Rolling Hills area.
Well, that's going to be very unusual. We've had a lot of pursuits in a lot of different areas of town, but I can't ever remember any type of pursuit that ended up in the Palos Verdes Peninsula. So this is will certainly be interesting if he manages to keep eluding officers. He's going to go up at the top of the peninsula at some point, and he's probably going to head up down to the ocean. And Palos Verdes Boulevard goes completely around the peninsula. You got Palos Verdes Boulevard east, west, north, and south, and there's no telling where he's going to end up. I mean, he could end up driving and end up in Redondo Beach if he goes one direction. He could go the other direction and end up in San Pedro and still make his way to Long Beach if they don't pull another pit maneuver and get this guy pulled over.
If you're just joining us right now, we're following a pursuit. A man who CHP officers tried to pull over in it was Lakewood, and he refused to stop. He was wanted, accused of lewd acts on a child. Police apparently had been watching him for quite some time. He was accused of committing these acts in the past. And when police tried to pull him over, he told them, I know why you're here, and he did not stop. We're also hearing reports that this driver may have threatened to commit suicide. So this is a suspect who is going to ride this out probably until the end.
And, you know, just to think of his, right there, I believe, is Palos Verdes Boulevard south. I think he was passing right there, or east. And anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we are going to stay with this pursuit. We will have more when we come back. I'm Glenn Walker, along with Carolyn Costello and Mark Kono up in Sky 5. You're watching the KTLA 5 News at 1 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Well, this all started in Bell, California here. The Sheriff's Department attempting to serve a search warrant for a lewd conduct suspect. He took off from police. He told them that he was not going to be taken alive. He was going to commit suicide. This pursuit went all the way up north of LAX, then south back down here to Rancho Palos Verdes. We're on Rancho Palos Verdes Drive East, southbound from the Torrance Airport. This black pickup truck, Sheriff's Department, CHP on top of it. They tried several times to pit the car using that pursuit intervention technique. Didn't work. He actually crashed into a big rig, waited till the cops got out of their cars, and then took off again here. Southbound towards Palos Verdes Estates, Rancho Palos Verdes here, up through the hillside south of Torrance. Again, a suspect wanted for a lewd conduct warrant, who said that he was going to commit suicide. We don't know whether he has any arms. He's armed, but obviously he is dangerous. He doesn't want to be caught. Sheriff's Department and the CHP involved in the pursuit. On my case up in Sky 9, KCAL 9 News.
Yeah, just from what little information we have right now, you can imagine that this driver is posing a great risk to the public as he's fleeing from the authorities right now. So he has told police that he will not be taken alive. He may be suicidal. Sheriff's deputies were attempting to do a search warrant for a lewd act on a child, not today, but in the past. So they were watching this person. He would not pull over. He, again, said that he would not be taken alive and has led police on this chase for about half an hour right now. You can look at the truck and you can see that it's damaged in the back. That was the result of a pit maneuver that the CHP did on this car. I believe that was at PCH between Western and Normandy in Torrance. The driver then hit a semi-truck, and that's the damage that you see on the back of his pickup truck. So we thought it might have been over at that point, Susie. We waited for a while. The officers got out of their cars, and of course, this guy takes off again.
That's right. We saw them standing around the car, and we definitely thought it was over. But then again, like you said, Lena, he took off once again. Again, if you're just joining us live right now here on KCAL 9, we're following a CHP pursuit that started in the city of Bell this afternoon after officers attempted to serve a search warrant.
Oh,
it looks like
goodness.
He is definitely putting... Wow, we just saw the truck roll down the hill. Mike Case, what can you tell us?
You know, he wasn't going that fast. He was passing other cars, but it looks like he just lost control, possibly even on purpose, the way he was driving, the way he took that, swerved off to the right. You can see he crashed into the back of, appears to be some type of a commercial business here. It doesn't look like there's anyone in the parking lot. It could be a closed business. At the top of the hill, Rancho Palos Verdes, they are now descending on the car to try to take him into custody, if that's at all possible. But it looks like he tried to commit suicide by swerving That's about the only thing we have right now. We have not heard of any weapons. Again, suspect wanted for lewd conduct here. This pursuit going on for about 30 minutes, went all the way up to LAX and back now to Rancho Palos Verdes, where he drove himself right off the road for no reason. There was no other car around, and we'll see exactly what happens here. But right now, this pursuit is over. Rancho Palos Verdes. On my case in Sky 9, KCAL 9 News.
Yeah, so officers are descending on the now crash site. Hopefully, we hope that no one was in that area, but you can look at all the debris from the crash right there. Again, he didn't look like he lost control. The truck looked like he had full control of it, and then all of a sudden you just saw him cross all lanes and go over the edge there into this building.
We continue to follow breaking news. This is taped of a pursuit that came to an abrupt end when the driver of that black Ford pickup slammed through a fence off Crenshaw Boulevard, went airborne, and crashed his pickup truck into a tree. Right next to that office building, you see it now turned on its side. The condition of that driver at this point is unknown. But if we go back live now to our live picture, you can see that paramedics, fire paramedics, have now arrived on the scene. So at this point, we would have to assume that that driver did survive.
Breaking news, a suspect in that crazy chase in the South Bay has been pulled out alive.
Yeah, you saw it here live on KCAL 9. The chase ended when his truck flew off an embankment. Mike Case is above the scene in Sky 9. Mike?
Well, we also understand that this driver has been confirmed as an LAUSD teacher. This pursuit started. In fact, let's go to the tape we just shot seconds ago. LA County Fire and Urban Search and Rescue were able to stabilize the pickup truck that ran off of Crenshaw and stabilize that under a tree, and were able to successfully get him out, put him on a backboard, and take him to an ambulance, a waiting ambulance, and they've gone to a nearby hospital here, probably Harbor General. If we can, let's go to the end of the pursuit where the suspect actually ran off the road. He said he wasn't going to be taken alive, and it looks like he tried that or had a rear tire blowout on him, but it was a lengthy, dangerous, high-speed pursuit up and down the 405 freeway that ended here in Rancho Palos Verdes. Suspect said he wouldn't be taken alive. It was an investigation by the Long Beach Police Department, originated in Bell. He was wanted for lewd conduct and child endangerment. That suspect, the only one injured, in custody now. Rancho Palos Verdes Estates, no other injuries, no other accidents. On my case up in Sky 9, KCAL 9 News.